Daniel Penny is guilty of self-defense in a blue city. Hello and welcome. I am Ian K and welcome to Current Year, where we talk about what's going on in the current year because it's clown world. Grand jury indicts Daniel Penny in chokehold death of Jordan Neely. Neely's death was ruled a homicide according to medical examiner. We are seeing more and more of these circumstances where the actual victim, in this case Daniel Penny, is being made out to be the aggressor. And the aggressor, Jordan Neely, is made out to be the victim. And to highlight this, all we have to do is take a look at this clip from the family lawyer and see what he has to say about it.
No one on that train asked Jordan, what's wrong? How can I help you?
Yes, because that's the first thing I do when I'm either being assaulted or threats of being assaulted or being mugged. I asked, how can I help you? Is there anything I could do for you besides give you my wallet? I'm not saying Jordan Neely deserved to die. I actually think it's rather unfortunate that he did. However, there are circumstances that people put themselves into where they end up forfeiting their life, and this is one of them.
He was choked to death instead. So for everybody saying, I've been on the train and I've been afraid before, and I can't tell you what I would have done in that situation, I'm going to tell you. Ask how you can help.
What he is saying is patently retarded. If somebody's assaulting me or threatening me, I'm not going to ask them, how can I help you? And the unfortunate side effect of all this is that when people are being attacked, people just stand around, do nothing, and they watch or they film it on their camera. They don't want to intervene. Why? Because they end up getting prosecuted for it. Neely has been arrested several times. I don't know what he was charged with or if he was even charged at all. But clearly, he does have a record and a past.
Don't attack. Don't choke. Don't kill. Don't take someone's life.
Using a chokehold is a less than lethal option. Daniel Penny did not intend to kill him. He was attempting to subdue him. Now, saying don't kill, if somebody's trying to kill me, yes, I'm going to use lethal force to defend myself and my family and those around me. I have a conceal and carry permit for a reason, and ultimately what he's not saying is maybe Jordan Neely shouldn't have threatened those people on that train. Maybe this never would have happened, because it would not have happened, if he had done that.
Don't take someone's loved one from them because they're in a bad place.
I have a question. Where was the family? Jordan Neely was homeless when this happened. Why wasn't his family helping him out? Why is it up to complete strangers?
No one on that train said, you started out by saying, I'm hungry. I need food. I'm done with it. I don't know where to get food. I don't care if I die. I don't care if I go to jail. I'm just done.
That's not what Jordan Neely did. According to eyewitness accounts, he threatened people. He didn't ask for food. You can see how they're framing the situation. What they're doing is they're trying to take and make citizens into criminals and criminals into a voting base. Anyway, back to the article. A grand jury has indicted former U.S. Marine Daniel Penny connected with the chokehold death of Jordan Neely aboard a subway train. The exact charges will not be unsealed until Penny appears in court at a later date. Penny was initially arrested on a second-degree manslaughter charge. Video showed Penny putting Neely in a chokehold on May 1st. Several witnesses observed Neely making threats. Assistant District Attorney Joshua Steinglass told the judge during Penny's initial appearance in court on May 12th. Some witnesses told police that Neely was yelling and harassing passengers on the train, authorities said. Police sources told ABC News that Penny was not specifically being threatened by Neely when he intervened and that Neely had not become violent and had not been threatening anyone in particular. Neely was homeless at the time of the incident. Now, there's two things you should take away from that last paragraph. The first one is the fact that, well, you don't need to be threatened specifically to feel threatened, especially if you're in a confined area and there's no place to flee. The other thing, too, that they did is they point out that Neely was homeless during the incident, which honestly has nothing to do with what happened. The only reason why it's there is to drum up sympathy for Neely. And like I said, the guy didn't deserve to die. However, he did put himself in a situation where he potentially forfeited his life, and that's unfortunately what happened. Penny held Neely for several minutes, and at some point Neely stopped moving, but Penny continued to hold him for a period of time, Steinglass said. Penny remained on the scene to talk with police following the incident, Steinglass said. The medical examiner determined that Jordan Neely was killed by a chokehold and his death was ruled a homicide. Now there's something that the article actually goes and omits, the fact that Penny put Neely into the recovery position when he stopped moving. So it's not like he was trying to kill the man, he was only trying to subdue him. Also, you need to note the picture of Neely that they used in this article, where he looks younger and more clean cut, and obviously he was a Michael Jackson impersonator, and he doesn't look as threatening. But if you actually see the footage and you know what Neely looks like, he looks nothing like that. This is manipulation. Again, they are trying to make you feel sympathetic for Neely and not Penny. Steinglass said prosecutors conducted a thorough investigation that included interviews with eyewitnesses, 911 callers, and responding officers before moving forward with the criminal charge. Penny turned himself into police on May 12th following the announcement from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office regarding charges. He has not yet entered a plea. Neely, who was homeless at the time of his death, had a documented mental health history, according to police sources. Neely had been previously arrested for several incidents on the subway, though it's unclear how many and if any led to convictions. So I have to ask, again, where was his family? Why weren't they looking after him? Why was he homeless? And suddenly, after his death, there's a lawyer, there's statements being made, and it's as if they stand to profit off of his death, which is sad. Attorneys for the Neely family said in a statement, the indictment was the right result for the wrongs he committed. The grand jury's decision tells our city and our nation no one is above the law, no matter how much money they raise, no matter what affiliation they claim, and no matter what distorted stories they tell in interviews, the attorneys said in a statement. You have to take a look and see how they're framing the argument. There are eyewitnesses who thanked Penny for intervening because their lives felt threatened. But yet, Penny is being made out to be the bad guy. Attorneys for Penny released a statement Wednesday evening stating that it respects the grand jury's decision, and it should be noted that the standards of proof in a grand jury is very low. There's an old saying, a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich, and that's basically what we're getting here. We're confident that when a trial jury is tasked with weighing the evidence, they will find Daniel Penny's actions on the train were fully justified, attorney Stephen Razor said in a statement. We're all saddened by the loss of human life, Penny's attorney Thomas Kenneth said in a statement. Daniel Penny saw a genuine threat and took action to protect the lives of others. When you are being threatened, you have a right to defend yourself. Mayor Eric Adams released a statement Wednesday afternoon stating he appreciated Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg conducting a thorough investigation into the death of Jordan Neely. Like I said, when the DA first brought charges, I have the utmost faith in the judicial process. And now that the grand jury has indicted Daniel Penny, a trial and justice can move forward, the mayor said in his statement. The race grifter Al Sharpton, who eulogized Neely at his funeral, released a statement reiterating his calls for thorough prosecution of Penny. The National Action Network has stood in support of Jordan's family since day one. This was a clear-cut case of vigilantism that has no place in our society, which is why I spoke against it at Jordan's funeral, Sharpton said in a statement. A vigilante is somebody who goes and hunts down criminals who is not a part of law enforcement. This is a guy on a subway train that is being a good Samaritan. He sees people being threatened and he went to go subdue the assailant. This is all part of Al Sharpton's grift. And like I said, if you live in New York City, get the hell out. You have no rights. And if somebody goes and attacks you and you defend yourself, and God forbid if that person dies, well, you're screwed. Unfortunately, I think the outcome in this case is going to be very different from what we saw with Kyle Rittenhouse. I do think Penny will probably be found guilty because this is New York fucking City. Anyway, I'm interested in seeing what your comments have to say about all of this. Leave a comment. I'm looking forward to reading them. If you enjoy my content, go and check out another one of my videos. This is Ian, signing off.